Greetings everyone, I'm Prince B. Once again, we have an Amiibo unboxing. Today we have Ryu and
my boy
Roy. These guys just came out, and I debated doing them each separately. I mean, they, aside from like being DLC fighters that came out together, they don't have a whole lot in common, but you know what, I just decided to lump them together. So Roy and Ryu lumped together, we've got Royu. So let's get started with our boy Roy over here. Package is dinged up. That wasn't like that when I got it. That was all me, just kind of careless, walking around with it, and he just got dinged up. But anyways, we're here. We've got him beating up on Bowser Jr., which, in my opinion, that's a bit of a missed opportunity. That should have definitely been the Roy Koopa, just to keep that joke going from his reveal trailer. Open him up, and Roy, back in Melee when I played that as a kid, Roy was one of the characters I actually did play a lot, and being a little kid, my logic pretty faulty. Basically, as far as it went, Marth and Link were cool because they had a sword. Roy had a fire sword, so that made him even cooler somehow. But in reality, he's not very good in Melee. So here he is. Can I just say, first off, right off the bat, his face is the best Fire Emblem character face that I've seen, hands down. So far, we've looked at Marth and Ike. Haven't gotten Lucina or Robin yet, but from what I've seen online in pictures, their faces still aren't as high quality as Roy's. Definitely much closer to his pre-release picture, and you can actually tell that it's a human face, or it's supposed to be a human face, unlike the other ones. So definitely good in that regard. They finally figured out how to make faces for these more detailed humanoid characters. And honestly, I wish they'd saved the rest of the Fire Emblem characters, like Palutena and Pit and all those guys, for later on, so that they could have had much better detailed faces like this. Well, not necessarily detailed, just like better looking. Like, oh, he looks so much better than the other Fire Emblem characters. It's kind of painful. He's gonna look so much better next to them. Anyways, in terms of other details, much like the other Fire Emblem characters, he's very detailed. All these creases and little seams on you got the stitches on his leggings. I'm honestly not sure what to call those. His pose, it looks nice. Of course, it's just the official artwork, but it looks nice and like self-assured. Much better than his old Melee poses. He just looks strong and confident and powerful. Everything he wasn't in Melee. And of course, he's designed, and he doesn't have any support stands. I think I may have said like Mewtwo didn't have support stands, and I was actually just blind and I didn't notice that he had one. He has one, but Roy here, I'm not seeing one unless there's like a super tiny invisible one that I'm not seeing. Yeah, he looks good. His cape's got that emblem. Looks better than Ike's. I can actually see the details on it. Looking good, and even his bandana, it's not just like two big lumpy noodle looking things. It's actually like semi-flat. It's like closer to the thickness of the cape. His hair has good, decent texture. His armor, his sword, didn't really see any paint bleeding. Overall, Roy, fantastic figure. Might actually replace Lucas as my favorite figure, Smash figure now, because this is just beautiful looking. Like, my goodness, he looks so good. Yeah, he's so good. And next we have Ryu. I feel like everyone has that character who, when they're announced, you kind of groan and you're like, oh, I did not want this character. Like, for a lot of people, it was any Fire Emblem character. Well, for me, it was Ryu. I just wasn't really down with him because, I mean, he comes from a fighting game, and his games aren't typically like Nintendo and whatever. And eventually, when he leaked, I was pretty upset about it until I heard the music tracks that were leaked for his stage, and I saw the visuals on that. And listening to that and looking at it, I was like, wow, this is actually really beautiful. And it reminded me of part of why I love Smash Bros. Is just seeing all these crazy universes come together. And that really put things in perspective for me, I don't know. And so now I'm totally fine with Ryu, and he's actually one of the characters I do kind of like to mess around with. I'm by no means good with him. He's very complicated, and I'm not good at the game. But Ryu has gone from, like, my hated character to being like, yeah, I'm okay with him. I hope he comes back in a future installment, because he's just so cool, and he brings a lot to the Smash universe, I feel like. Even if they totally did forget to add Guile's theme, which is the only theme from Street Fighter I actually know, so... made me sad, because I literally knew no themes that they added in going in. But anyway, here we have Ryu. Much like Roy, you can tell they've gotten better with faces. Man, that looks spot on. Like, his muscles are defined. The folds in his what is this? In his outfit are nice. Just looks fantastic too. Like, much like Roy's, he's got the bandana where it's not just like thick noodles of plastic, as well as for his belt. And they even went to the trouble of painting the kanji on his belt, which is a fantastic touch. Like, that is so minor of a detail, but they got it anyway. Same for the little writing on his gloves. I don't know what it means on either accounts because I don't play Street Fighter. But yeah, so, man, he just looks good. Everything looks well defined. He's a little more simple, not as many minor details, but overall, he just looks just as solid as Roy, maybe even a little more. Given the simplicity, there's less things to mess up. And his hair is really detailed too. Like, wow, that is good. These are very good figures. The one thing is he's got these little stands. I guess because his legs aren't fully connected to the base, they needed the stands. Which, I mean, would it have been that hard to push him down a little extra bit? I don't know, maybe. But overall, both of these are just like fantastic figures. Like, I'm actually really excited to see how the last three Smash characters, Cloud, Corn, and Bayonetta, turn out, because if they turn out as good as these, then that'll be a real treat, because these are just beautiful figures. Thanks for watching, as always. Hope you enjoyed this. Some of the figures are just kind of like whatever, but these ones I can full-heartedly recommend anyone pick up. If you're on the fence, get them because they're beautiful. Thanks for watching, as always. This is Prince B signing out.